So first thing I'm going to do, start to make sure I've got these areas in the right position, and then I'm just darkening it down. Okay, the important thing with this section, you can see, is the cheek area is much lighter than say the eye or around the ear. So I don't want to go too dark. If you go too dark, then you won't be able to get enough light actually in it. And you can see the marks I'm making going in that fur direction in general. Not pushing hard. The thing when you're using pencils, you really got to push hard to overdo the amount of pastel going down. With pastel sticks, especially if they're very, very soft, you can very easily overdo the amount of pastel going down on them. Before you know it, you filled the tooth of the paper. It's less easy to do it with pan pastels, and pencils even more so. You can see I put a fair bit of pencil down then, rubbed it moderately hard, and it didn't really go anywhere. It just kind of smooths it out a bit. Now if I'd used pastel sticks and gone, as I said, a bit too heavy handed with it, that would have really smoothed out like we saw with the background. Now I've got around about 3.5 hours worth of drawing left, so obviously I'm going to do the same things I did in the first one and speed up sections where I'm doing a repetitive type of stroke, but this area works out quite quick, so I'll show you exactly how I do this. And I'm just smoothing out, softening it. We don't want really spiky, hard edged looking pencil marks all the time. Okay, even this meerkat that's very detailed has got a softness about it in lots of areas. Now I'm just darkening up here, then I can darken in a few areas on the cheek as well. There's only a few areas that need to go much darker, because if you squint your eyes at the reference and at the drawing, remember they do show up differently on screen, but you can see I'm quite a bit darker already on that cheek area, so the highlights will already show up on it. So I'm just going to add a few more darks in a couple of places, a few greyed out areas as well, and then I can get on with the highlights. Okay, onto the highlights. Now if we see in the reference photo, the area I'm working on now, that's at the back end of this section. It's the furthest away from us, and then the hair, the fur, overlaps as it's going towards the mouth. Okay, so I generally follow that kind of principle. It's what we're seeing on the photo is what would be then real life. So to make sense of it, that's what we should be doing in our drawing. It's not hypercritical to always go like that, because you can actually go back over and put a few hairs on top of the underwork. But as I said, it does make sense to really do it that way. And so I'm starting at the back again and making my way forward again. It's quite soft down here, so I don't need a really hyper sharp pencil. You see a very soft touch as well, and these marks are easily going over that slightly darker underlayer, and I'm making sure to allow some of the underlayer to show through as well. Now this is more of a grey that's going on, and that mixes a little bit with the underlayer and it's producing just the right colour. Okay, so you've got to test your colours out, a few strokes to see if it's right. If not, pick something slightly different. So even though you can check it on the colour checker, you know, on a bit of scrap paper, when it's going over an underlayer, it will obviously be slightly different. So you take the colour by doing it on the scrap paper as your, you know, general colour, the test colour, and you adjust it then. Perhaps you need the next pencil up or down in colour or tone to get it quite accurate. But remember, it doesn't need to be exactly the same as the reference photo, because if it was, the animal was under just slightly different light, the fur would be a different colour, different tint to the fur. So don't worry about getting it exactly right. Don't waste too much time doing that. Okay, so I'm going to continue that technique down under the mouth and down under the jaw as well. Going in with a bit of a pink colour, like a salmon colour going in. You see, that's just tinting the colour that I've got down on there. I hope you found this small section from the really long 2-hour+ video. If you want to see all the video, it's over on my Patreon art channel, and that's tier 3. And you then get access to all the other videos I've done on there as well, so it's about 5 years worth. Now, as my channel's been going for over 5 years, I've got a real huge back catalogue of videos for you to watch. And when you join, you get access to all of the videos I've previously done on the tier you join at. So that could very well be hundreds of hours worth of videos. And I have subjects from the very beginner all the way up to super advanced. So I'm just going to scroll through a few of those on the screen just so you get an example, an idea of the type of things that I've got on there. And remember, I've got 109 pastel videos, 31 oil videos, and 14 other ones like charcoals and some coloured pencils as well in there. And each video goes from start to finish. The videos go through all the steps from the drawing all the way through to the final completion as well. So I've also got very dramatic subjects. I've got things like pet portraits and realism, wildlife, leopards, cheetahs, orangutans, and also subjects in their natural environments as well, and some more unusual things. It's not always about furry animals, so I've got some reptiles, frogs, the earth, even churches, but it is mainly wildlife that is on there. These are just a few extra ones I put on as well. So even a human portrait and a couple of landscapes too. So it really doesn't matter whether you're a beginner, novice, or really advanced. I've got lots and lots at each level, over 1,500 members on my Patreon art channel, and many of them had never picked up a pencil or a brush before, and they're really surprised and amazing their families and friends with what they can create now in such a short time. And I also show you exactly how I do my most advanced work as well, which is something artists don't often share. Now that was just a few of the pastel videos I've got on there, and here's a few oils as well, just so you get an idea of that. Now it doesn't matter if you're only into pastels or only into oils, you will learn from each of the videos that's actually on there. And there's also videos on other very important things like composition, basic digital editing, how to print your reference photos and how to take really good ones as well, and also new reference photos each month. And as well as all of that, you also get access to our secret Facebook group for members only, and virtually every one of the members thinks it's the nicest, most supportive group they've ever joined. Now finding all of those videos is super easy. I've got a companion website, so with just one click you can jump to all of the videos you want. Now, hundreds of hours worth of videos, it doesn't cost hundreds of pounds or dollars. You can join from anywhere over the world, and it just costs from $4 per month, so roughly $1 a week. And there's no contract. You can leave and come back whenever you want, and you can go up and down all the tiers when you want as well. Hope that's a useful video, and I'll see you all again real soon.